I spent years living all the way in the box, afraid to step out, afraid to truly grab hold of my dream. And now I am breaking through, and I invite you to join me.
Your breakthrough starts now. Coming up on today's show, get ready to be inspired and transformed with our featured guests. Find out what's trending and get advice on life's daily challenges with Erica's top tips of the day. All of this and so much more coming up. So stay tuned. This is your one-stop shop for inspiration. The Erica Latrice Show. And now, here's your host, Erica.
And welcome to the Erica Latrice Show. Listen, we are deep diving into the Amplify Her Virtual Summit. I'm so honored and excited because I will be bringing our guest speakers right here to you so that you can get all the behind the scenes tips. You're going to be able to hear the stories, the things that they've overcome, experienced. So when you get access to the strategies, the workshops, the VIP sessions of the actual summit, it's going to be mind-blowing because you'll now know the level of expertise that you have just connected yourself to. So this is the Erica Latrice Show, but as you hear, I'm talking all about Amplify Her, and that is my women's organization. We are an international organization, and it's helping women around the world to step out, to expand their reach, increase their voice, to stand on their story. Now, let me tell you right now, I have seen today's guest in action. This woman right here is, I usually tell y'all, get out your notepad, get a pen, all of that. If you don't have it, I would even encourage you to pause, run to the store and buy you an empty journal so you can kickstart your goals right now, because Latoya is taking over the globe. And when I tell you, she has launched some powerful things. She has been honored as a military spouse of the year. She has launched fashion in my local area. I'm like, I don't even have to look at her bio because I know firsthand what she has been able to do is shift community. So welcome with me into the Be Inspired Cafe powerhouse, Latoya Scott. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you? How are you?
Oh, well, I'm doing great. I would let the audience know that it is the wee early hours of the morning for you right now.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It is 5:34 a.m. Friday morning. So the future.
Yeah, she's living in the future and about to help your future if you're watching. So listen up. The fact that you are up, fresh-faced and popping at 5 a.m., ready to share some nuggets. So I just
trust me, it's waist up.
If you get up, got the pajama pants and the slides.
Yes.
I love it. Can you kickstart? Just tell us a little bit more about you for those that may not have connected with you and don't know all of the amazing things that you're doing.
So I am a event specialist. So I specialize in organizing events, putting together events, and creating events, special custom events for organizations. And that's just something I love to do. My passion is bringing people together. I've had plenty of organizations joke about that and say, I've been trying to get people to come together for years, and you come along and say, hey, we're going to put together bottle caps, and everybody from across the nation comes along and participates in the event now. And so that's like the running joke. But and I realize that's my gift. I do have a gift of bringing people together. And then I'm also a coach, a small business coach. I teach others how to start their business and how to just get it off the ground, how to keep that momentum, because it can just be it can be very tough being an entrepreneur and trying to show the world the light that God has put in you. You'll have so many people trying to turn that light off, damper that light. And it can just be very, very, very discouraging sometimes. And so I turned into a coach because I had a few people that they were inspired just by some of the things that I would do and or not do, and just would ask me questions and just was like, look, I will pay you for your time. And I was just like, okay, well, sure, I'm not going to turn that down. And so it just turned into me making another income for myself by helping others. And so it's been a real blessing for me. And also being here in Okinawa, Japan, it has opened my eyes to a whole lot, just doing business internationally and just learning different cultures and just different time zones. So it's been quite a journey. And now also being the president of Okinawa Leadership Seminar out here, it's just been mind blowing. I would have never thought that would be my journey here.
I'm not surprised because I'm in Eastern North Carolina, and y'all, when y'all see me get hyped about stuff, I promise you, I'm not just getting hyped just because I'm doing a podcast and I want to be hyped. I'm so intentional about who I co-sign or endorse or whatever. I have seen Latoya in action. I've seen her come into areas where it's how she said crickets, and Latoya could be like, you know what, we just gonna get together and tear up notebook paper, and everyone's like, I want to sponsor. I want to She's just, that is an anointing. You are so anointed. And I think it's because you've learned the power of, you're not afraid to let other people shine. Like, you shine, but you create opportunity for so many people. So can you talk to us? I want to get started. I first want to focus on the events, because that's something that I love and I know it's powerful. What are some of those things that you've seen that entrepreneurs can make a mistake in, or maybe people don't consider when they think about doing an event, that you help people overcome?
A big one: marketing and branding. Marketing and branding is always a big thing that a lot of people miss and skip, and then they wonder why nobody is there, nobody shows up, and it's because no one knows who you are. And so a lot of people miss that step, and so that's another area I come in to play, and that is like another gift of mine. And so I help people with creating a realistic marketing plan for their event, so that they can have a clear roadmap of where they want to go and how to get there.
I love it. So that right there, it reminds me of, there was a story that Tyler Perry talked about where he sold used up all his savings, decided
Sleeping
he
in the
was
car.
yes, gonna do this event with crickets because no one knew about it. And I find that a lot. It's not just in events, but in business and entrepreneurship as a whole. A lot of times we have these great ideas, and I feel like people can get stuck in what I say analysis paralysis, idea obesity, where they're coming up with all these ideas, but you're never exercising it by way of implementation. So no one knows what you have because you're just always, creating, but never marketing. So what would you say, what's been one of those game changing, if we were to say people listening right now are clueless about marketing, what's a game changer to consider before you launch out into marketing?
Be true to who you are, and allow people to get to know you. I am a big fan of allowing people to get to know me, but not allowing people to be all up in my business. There is a difference. There is a difference. I know some people who actually know me also follow my husband. So they'll see my husband post a lot more about our family. I do not. Does it mean I'm not there? No, it doesn't mean that, because typically I'm the one with the camera. Somebody has to live to tell a story. They are very adventurous. And so sometimes they it's so many places, especially out here. So many places out here you can go to that cost like $1 for the whole family. And so a lot of the military community out here take advantage of all of these activities out here. So it will look like we're out here balling out on $1, but really we're not. but it's like very exotic things like, oh, we're going to go climb up on this this little island right here by the beach, and with the clear waters, with the sea turtles swimming up on the side, and I will be right there on the land on the beach, zooming in to the kids and my husband, and then he gets to, you know, cut that footage up and do whatever he wants to do with that on social media. And, you know, just in case the sea turtle gets them, I'm here, I'm living to tell the story. And so, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I can swim when I need to. I just choose not to. Sometimes I just don't want to be in the water. I rather just sit on the side, collect some seashells and look at the scenery and just take it all in.
That's my favorite part. I don't know. There was this meme that went around where it was like, it put the numbers, how far out in the ocean you're going to go. 5 was like way out there with the ships. And then there was 1 was right there, like where their feet were touching the sand. I'm like, put me behind the camera in the condo overlooking the water.
Yes. Look, I'm right there. I'm right there for the kids. I'm right here. I'm right here, guys. We're all doing this activity. Somebody has to hold the blanket down on the sand.
Yes. And let you know when the sharks are coming. Hey, I'm
exactly.
Oh yeah,
that actually happened because my husband is a fisherman, so he loves to fish, and I love it too. Especially out here, we get tuna, fresh tuna. Absolutely love it. So in North Carolina, my husband caught this huge bluefish. I mean, huge, like I'm huge. 2 people had to hold it, and so he's wheeling it in on the beach, and the kids are, you know, just playing right there at the water at the shore. And then one guy to our right, he caught like 2 of them. So he's like wheeling those in. Everybody's wheeling in these bluefish. The guy to the left, he's wheeling in something. So all of us in the line, like, oh man, it must be bluefish season. Like, this is amazing. And then next thing you know, it's a hammerhead shark. I'm like, oh no, kids, get out the water. And they're like, why? I'm like, get out the water. And so they get out the water, and then they turn around and they look, they're like, oh my goodness. And of course, my kids, gotta be my kids. Can we touch it? No, get over here. So, I was like, I can take a picture from afar. And I did.
On the back. Free rides. Right? So I want to talk about that, Latoya, because I know I went through this exercise with one of my biz friends, and we were talking about, everyone talks about hitting that 6-figure mark, hitting that 7-figure mark, and all these things. But when you really get underneath the why of it, for many people, they're actually surprised when they uncover why they actually want to hit certain income goals. For me, it's all about creating those special moments. It's all about that. The kid saying, can I touch the hammerhead shark? You know, it's creating those memories.
Yeah.
So what would you say drives you? And what do you say to that person that maybe hasn't been able to find balance? They think they have to sacrifice what's important to them in order to be successful in business. What are your thoughts around that?
My drive is family. I absolutely love family. I actually just recently lost my older sister unexpectedly, a few days after Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving. And so it hit my family extremely hard. And then trying to deal with that from all the way over here, overseas, it has been very crazy. But one of the things that has helped my family is we like to do things together. So, and even my small tight-knit family, like my kids help me with my business. I homeschool. So don't even get me started about that, because I know a few people are like, wait, hold on, time out. She homeschools? How does she do all of this stuff? So yeah, my kids actually help with my business. That's a part of their homeschooling curriculum. And then I actually pay them, legally what they can get paid for the work that they do during the day when they are interning for my company. And so that helps me to make sure that what I love, which is family, is a part of what I do. My husband even helps out sometimes. For those who have spouses, that can be a little tricky, especially when you're a visionary. And, the husband is just like, oh, well, why are you doing that? What do you mean, why am I doing that? Because this is what I have to do. And sometimes I had to learn how to acknowledge my husband's input and actually take it in, even if I feel like it's totally 100% wrong. I still acknowledge it and say, okay, let me at least think about that before I say, what? Why would I do that? That's dumb.
Right.
So I had to learn how to
Yes.
consider my communication skills when it comes to my spouse, and actually allow him to be in a space that is comfortable for him in my business. And then with my entire family, we actually just purchased land in North Carolina. That's where we plan to retire. And we are building a family co-op on there. So we'll have like a little community for my entire family, my aunts, my uncles, my parents, us, my siblings. And then we are also building a Christian marriage retreat on the land as well. So we are extremely excited about all of that and just looking forward to that. And that's just one of the ways where I incorporate family in everything that I do, because the whole family will be involved in that entire project. And so, and it would just be a family business. And so I'm excited about it. My kids are excited about it. Everybody is just like, oh, I know what I can do, and this is what I'm gonna do. And just learning how to work with people and their strengths is definitely important, in having boundaries set up.
You're just living everyone's dreams. I'm just sitting here like, it's the internship for me, the coming together with your husband. That has been eye-opening for me, because this has been, I would say, new, where my husband is the reason for the production behind everything I'm doing. He's helped so much, even with the events. That's how we came together. So I just love to hear that, just incorporating your children and your family and even the co-op. I'm like, but so you don't have to get together off camera just because my language. So I want to talk about that too. You have realized so many dreams. You have done things that people could only dream about. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And I feel like going through loss, like me, when I lost, like losing my mother, it just has a way of it wakes you up. If nothing else wakes you up, that can. And so I would love for you to talk about just how you've been able to navigate even setting those kind of dreams and visions for your family, and what are those key tools that you use to realize your dreams?
So the dream of the land, I would not take credit for that. That has been my dad. My dad had that dream since before any of us was born. But I think with life, having children, and just both my mom and my dad work, it was just, I think it became a dream on a back burner. Like so many, you have this vision, and then it's like, okay, what do I need to do to put it in action? And so it wasn't until last year, because last year Fashion Week, I had Vivica Fox come in last year, and she and I, of course, somebody like Vivica Fox, I was like, oh, I have to be there for at least 2.5 months, like a month and a half prior to the event, because I need to make sure everything is okay. And so I got to the States, I want to say September, early September. The show was in October, mid-October. And so I was there for a good 2 months, because we didn't leave until a few weeks after that. But neither here or there. My dad knew I was going to be there, and him and my sisters was already looking at, I think it was like 200 acres in the Onslow County area, but they never got back to him. And so my dad finally let go the reins, because I like people to do their thing. When you need me, just call me. I'm not trying to overstep boundaries. And just because I know how to do something, I'm not going to just insert myself and just be like, hey, I can do this, which is something else I had to learn. Stop volunteering myself for stuff. It's very important as an entrepreneur. Even if you know how to do something, sometimes you just got to sit back and say, until you call me, I'll be right here until you call me. And so that's how I was all of these years. My other sister was trying to help him acquire land and get stuff. And then as soon as he gave me the okay, I was like, that's all you had to say. I'm out. I'm doing it. And it only took about a week or so, and we actually a few days, and we got an answer for the 200 acres, and that was already under contract. And so we were trying to find other lots, and then we found the 28 acres. And then me, my older sister, and our pastor that's in Onslow County, since he's like my eyes and ears and he does construction, I was just like, oh, this is the perfect person. And so we were working together, me, my older sister, and our pastor in North Carolina. All three were working together, and my mom were working together to try to acquire this land. And when my sister passed away, the whole deal just fell. The whole deal fell apart. We could not liquidate anything else. The only thing we liquidated was 150. We couldn't liquidate anything else. And my parents have a ton of real estate in Philadelphia. And so it wasn't as if they didn't have it. It was, and I can't express this anymore. I don't know what spiritual walk you're on, but it was clearly God. Like, it was no questioning about it, that it just was shut down. And of course, me, since my sister passed away, I was like, oh, she must have seen what was going on and just shut it down completely. And we lost the $20,000 that we put up for that land. And I just immediately was just like, Pastor, we need to pray. Like, because I know this is the time, but maybe this is not the lot. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna pray about it. I was like, okay, I'm praying. I'm gonna get down and pray about it. And then prayed about it. And then God immediately was like, look at that website that my other sister had sent, because she was just so against everything. And she was like, I think y'all should just buy a house. Here go a house. Look at this house that I found. And so that same website, because it was still on land. And so that same website, God was like, create an account with that website, because they have other stuff. I was like, okay. So I did that. And then I did it through my Facebook account. So, you can just, create an account with your social media, and then it automatically updates with whatever your profile picture is. But it also allows whatever company that is to like have all your information. And so immediately after I made the account, I got a text message, and I was like, oh, this must be spam. I was like, you know what? I'm going to let her know exactly what I'm looking for and just see what she say. I was like, I don't want anything over $2,000, 200,000, and looking for anything over 10 acres. And immediately she sent me something for 52 acres for 158,000. And when I tell you, there was nothing anywhere, like you could not pull that land up anywhere. And I was just like, we'll take that immediately. We'll take that. Because my prayer was, God, we already liquidated $150,000 cash. Like, it's there sitting in the account, just waiting to be spent. I was like, we can literally buy whatever we need if we can find it within that price range. And so we was able to do that. And then of course, with tax and closing fees, it went up, but that was nothing for that. We were able to get that. And then when we acquired it, it ended up being more than 52 acres. It ended up being a whole 10 acres more. And so it just was a blessing to the whole entire family. And it just allowed everybody to see how God moves, just because one door closed and it looks like it was just end all be all, because 20 grand is not nothing to just bat an eye about. That's a lot of money. And so everyone just saw how God moved in that whole situation. And then just this whole duration of this project, it just kept my family together during this whole ordeal of my older sister passing away, because we Zoom meet to talk about everything. We have the lumberjacks right now, just, taking out trees and giving us a check. Like, that's also a blessing. Like, yeah. So it's just, sometimes you have to step back and reassess, and not just continue to try to push a door open that clearly closed. I know some people like to say, well, if the door closed, make your own. Sometimes you need to sit back and pray about it, because God closed that door for a reason. And you want to make sure that you're not trying to open up a door that's going to eventually set you back a lot. And it's just, I just thank God for the discernment for that. And it's been a blessing. It's really been a blessing. And I just love the fact that it's been keeping my family completely together during this whole ordeal.
Wow. Latoya, you said so many words there. I just thank you for being so vulnerable and open, because I know you're letting God use you. And I know that today, I know I'm blessed by it, but I know it's blessed for someone else. So please don't take lightly, like, how much power you just shared with us. I appreciate it. And you said something else too about opening that door. I'm going to tell y'all, you need to come to the conference, to the summit, so we can unpack that. So if you're asking, well, how do you know when to make your own door and not close it? I just hear somebody asking that. Well, come to the summit and we'll break it down for you. So it's hard to wrap this because you've blessed me so much. I'm like, I don't even want to end the interview. But I want to, because I want people to really understand the power of investing in themselves. You can get connected to Latoya. You can work with Latoya. You can get and amplify her. And Latoya is our featured guest speaker. You can learn so much from just changing the circle and who's speaking into your life. But how can we connect with you, Latoya? For those that want to get connected, they want to work with you and take the next step, how can we support?
You can definitely connect with me on social media. TheRealLatoyaScott.com. TheRealLatoyaScott.com is my website. My social media is TheRealLatoyaScott. Unfortunately, Erica, after taking a few of your classes, my main Facebook is not The Real Latoya Scott. It is like Latoya.Brown 173 something, but that is my certified account, and I cannot change that. Facebook certified me back in like 2020 because I had someone try to snatch my account. They made like a dummy account on Instagram, and then they certified me for that, plus because of all of the press I got during 2020. And so I mean, it was like, well, you can change it, but it'll mess up your certification. I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just keep it. No, I'm good.
It's fun though, because that'll be your branding story to say, you know what, when it comes to branding, I got a funny little story. This is how you're gonna find me. Just look for a check mark,
Yeah. So, but I do have 2 pages on Facebook. So one is The Real Latoya Scott, and then Instagram is The Real Latoya Scott. But the other one that actually has the check mark, that's a whole nother thing. But you can always just search Latoya Scott, and because it has the check mark, it will pop up.
I love it. Latoya, I love you. I'm like, you have been a tremendous blessing from the moment I connected with you and beyond. You're just a trailblazer, a mover and a shaker. So yeah.
Thank you. You have been too in my life, and I wanted to tell you that too, because I want to say I've been a part of Amplify Her since maybe like 2019, I think it was. I can't remember completely. But it has definitely helped me with getting out and speaking more, because I know, some people look and be like, oh, that girl's such a trailblazer. She got it all together. No, that's not always the case. A lot of times you excel in one area, but need help in another area. And I know Amplify Her has definitely helped me with actually being comfortable with speaking and telling my story. And so I want to thank you for that, because that has Amplify Her has blessed my entire life. So wow. Thank you.
Thank you. You have helped me, speaking of the events, to up level, because if you've ever struggled, and I know many of you are out there, you're altruistic, you're a philanthropist, you just want to help the community. Latoya, you have made it like, yes, you can help the community, but earn income off of it, because then you can help on a larger scale. And you have shown me and plenty of people that. So I thank you for all that you've imparted into my business and life. And We got to wrap, y'all. If you're watching and you want more of this, I know you do. So go to amplifyhermovement.com, get your tickets from free to VIP to be in the building. Go to the reallatoyascott.com so that you can up level your brand, get your own event going on. And y'all, I just have so much to share with y'all, but I'm going to stop here. You can see across social media at Erica Empowers. Go out and make today so amazing that people can't help but get on board with what you have to share, because it's a choice. I'll see y'all in the next episode.
For more inspiration, visit us online at ericalatrice.com.